Kindly subscribe to the channel Cat2I'm by Manoj Mahajan so that you don't miss out the XAT Most Expected QA question series. Today we are going to discuss part 4. Already I've covered 3 parts. If you have not checked those videos, please do have a look. You would surely love the questions and the solutions. Moreover, you can expect direct or similar questions in the XAT paper. So let's have a look of this question number 16 over here. Such a question has appeared in the previous year's art papers. So if you look over here, a lot of students are going to answer this question with the help of permutation combination, or maybe they are going to look at some pattern. What we are going to look over here is something different, and that is base system. So you can make this question of base system and you can answer such question with ease. So what is given to us is that in the problem, uh, it skips the digit 6 and it moves directly from 5 to 7. So what is the actual pressure inside the gas chamber if the micromanometer reads 2087? And these are the options we have. So I just changed the data from the actual XAT question. So you need to know the concept, not the focus should be on the answers. So if you look over here, we could make it very easy. So do check out the complete solution for this problem and do check out the video till the end. And if you do love the solutions, make sure that you like, comment and share also. So see, understand one thing out here. 0, we are able to write 0. 1, if I look over here, 1. 2 as 2. 3 as 3. 4 as 4. 5 as 5. Now you don't have 6 over here. It is being skipped, right? So 6 actually becomes what? 7. 7 would become what? 8. 8 would become what? 9. And 9 would become what? 1, 0. So basically, if you understand, if you take a number 9 in base 10, and if you convert in base 9, you know it would be 1, 0. So you can just try to understand that one digit is missing out here. So this number, if I look over here, 2087, we are looking in base 9. So we just need to calculate this value in the decimal, that is base 10, and we can get the answer. So just remember, before you convert from base 9 to base 10, see this 7 over here we have, this should actually be what? If I look over here, this should have been 6. 8 should actually have been 7. 0 was 0, 2 was 2. So now you convert this number, if I look over here, into base 10, you would get the answer. So remember this concept so that such kind of question, if it appears in that again, you can look forward to answer. So converting, if I look over here, 6 into 9 to the power of 0, 7 into 9 to the power of 1, 0 into 9 square, and 2 into 9 cube. So 9 cube, if I look, is what? 729 into 2, if I do. So this would be what? 1458, correct? So with 1458, you can look forward to add what? 63. And this would be what? 6. So let's do that addition. So 8 and 3 is what? 11 and 6 is what? 17. 7 over here, 1 carry forward. 6 plus 5 is what? 11 plus 1. Well, so 2 over here, 1 carry forward. So what is my correct answer? 1527. So to know such concepts, make sure that you do follow the channel Cat2I'm by Manoj Mahajan. And if you're targeting Cat 26 and OMTs, you can look forward to join Cat2I'm and be the next achiever. Do comment, like, and share this video with the XAT aspirants. Let's move to the next question out here. So give a try to this problem. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of students are going to take a longer route in answering this problem. See, this is actually a problem of partition method. So you know that we have to divide these 12 identical balls among three people. So let me name the people as A, B, C. So let me just make an equation. So A plus B plus C is 12. Now there is a restriction that each person can get a maximum of 6 balls. So this is the range you have. A could be anything from 0 to 6, B could be anything from 0 to 6, and C could also be anything from 0 to 6. Now you know this result with the partition method, n plus r minus 1, c r minus 1, the whole number solution. But in that case, there is no limit on the values of A, B, C. So a lot of people would calculate the answer with the help of this, and then from those cases they will look forward to subtract, but it would be a bit time taking and you may get lost also somewhere. So let's understand the superb trick shortcut out here. See, understand one thing. Minimum I can give to A, B, C is what, 0 each. So if I look at making the sum total as 0, how many cases we are going to have? Only one. All of them becoming 0, right? Maximum I can give 6 to each of them. So if I wanted to make the total 18, and again total 18 I can also make only with one case, giving each of them 6. Let's try to make the sum total as 1. I'm going to try to make sum total as 1 over here. What do I have is 0, 0, 1 I can have, or maybe 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0. So how many cases we had? 3. Similarly, if you try to make 17, so we can make again with 3 cases. I'll show you 6, 6, 5, or you can have 6, 5, 6, or you can have 5, 6, 6. Now, what I'm just trying to make you understand is you go for the sum total as 0, you had one case. You go for the sum total as 18, you had one case. So 0 or 18, the number of cases are same. 1 or 17, the number of cases are same, the sum total if I want to make. Similarly, if you try to make sum total as 2 or 16, the number of cases will come out to be same. So what we have to make the sum total over here is 12. So if I make 12 or 18 minus 12, if I do, that is 6. So if I try to make the sum total as 6, you would have exactly the same cases as you had the sum total as 12. So now once you convert this to A plus B plus C 6, it becomes a very easy problem for you. You don't have to subtract any cases out here. So now this condition is there, no doubt, but you know that the maximum value any of these variables can pick up is that is 6 only, right? So we can apply the whole number solution out here. So what is n out here? 6. What is r over here? 3. 6 plus 3 minus 1, c 3 minus 1. So what do we get? 8c2. So 8c2 if I calculate would be nothing but 20. So that is the option C out here. That's a correct answer. So I'm pretty sure that such kind of trick shortcuts, if you're looking forward for the XAT, follow the channel. So let's move to the next one out here. Okay. Such a question also you can expect in the XAT paper. So what is given is the greatest integer less than or equal to x, the symbol out here. Find the value of the following series. So they've used the symbol for the greatest integer less than or equal to x. So you should know the definition of it. So let's say you have any input out here, right? So this they have defined as greatest integer less than or equal to x. So if you look over here, what we can think of is, so don't confuse with the modulus over here. So they've just used the symbol for the greatest integer less than or equal to x. So if you give the input, let's say 2.9. So it is going to give you the greatest integer which is less than or equal to the given input. So the answer has to be integer. So the integers less than 2.9 you have are infinite. Out of those, the greatest is what? 2. So the answer will be 2 over here because this symbol has been over here defined as uh, greatest integer less than or equal to x. But when you take minus over here, so don't put it uh, over here as converting into positive. It is actually the function GIF. So minus 2.9, if I try look at the greatest integer less than or equal to x, so you have again a lot of integers less than this. So you have what minus 3, minus 4. So the greatest among them is what? Minus 3. So that would be your answer. So let's understand how we're going to do it now. So root 1, and then if I take a greatest integer function of it, so what do I get over here is 1. Root 2 would be what if I look 1 point something. So again, you're going to get 1. Root 3, and if I do a GI of it, I'll get again what? 1. From root 4, you'll be getting what? 2. So let's understand the trick out here. What is happening is 1 square is 1, 2 square is what? 4. 3 square is what? 9. So my 1 will come out to be what? 3 times. So I'll make a series. And of course, we can look forward to add this series, what we're going to make over here. I do teach how to add such series in my classes also. But over here, I wanted to teach you that options are important. So if you have a close look, there are 4 options which are even, and one is your odd number. So it could be possible that they are looking at the concept of odd even. So we'll understand that. So let's understand the series out here. Next, you would have what? 2 how many times? From root 4 and doing a GIF of it. So 2 into 5. So actually there's a pattern. So 1 into 3, 2 into 5, then you will have what? 3 into 7, right? Then 4 into 9 and so on. So you have the last over here is root 169. The root 169 and doing a GI, if I was trying to say this would come out to be 13. So the series, if I look over here, is actually going till 12 square is what? 144. Okay. 13 square is what? 169. So this difference, if I do it, that is how much? 25. So I can write 12 would be coming how many times? 25 times. And then from outside, they're adding just 13 out. So this is what you need to find as the answer. So if you go mathematically, of course, I teach in the classes, you find out the nth term of this series and then do the summation rate. So we would have done that, but there is a trick shortcut out here. So look at the options out here. So only one of them is odd. So please understand one more thing I'm teaching you. So this 13 has been added from outside, right? So do you find out any two terms with a difference of 13 out here? Just have a close look out here. Okay, yes. So one, if I look, pair is this, so with a difference of 13 out here, yes. And one, if I look over here, this is the pair, right? So the high likely chances, if I look over here, either it could be option 4 or it could be option 5 also. The reason being because I'm just looking from the perspective of how the um, examiner is going to set the questions. So I'm not asking you to go for flukes, right? Just giving an idea that highly likely chance you have for option 4 or option 5, because I get two pairs out here. That's option 3 and option 4 if I check difference of 30. And option 4 and option 5, that is also a difference of 13. So most likely the answer should be from option 4 or option 5. As you know, in the XAT paper, there is a penalty for leaving also, point 1. And I have already uploaded one video on the channel to explain how the XAT negative works in the XAT paper. So you should check out so that you have absolute clarity, because a lot of students are not aware of how the uh, negative for unattempted is directed section wise. And it is important to know because there is sectional cutoff. So just an idea I'm giving you. if we were doing the problem through the option, then I would have looked at option 4 and 5 first rather than looking at the other choices, because high likely the chances from option 4 or option 5. Now, I'm not teaching maths out here, but let's understand what we could have done. So this is the only number which is odd. So if you look 1 into 3, so two odd numbers will get what? Odd. Then you have odd into even would give you what? Even. So odd, even. Can you see the pattern out here? So if you go till here, I'm not adding 13 as of now. So even is what? 6 times, and odd is also what? 6 times. So this result would become what? Even. And from the sum of, even if I add an odd number, that is 13 out here, so result has to be what? Odd. Only one choice was there, so option 4 should be the right answer. Of course, you can do maths out here, get the nth term of the series, do the summation, you will get the answer. But please have a look of options are very, very important in the XAT paper. Do watch the video till the end. I'll pick up one more question in this video itself where options would make sense to solve the question, right? So maybe that's completely your take. I'm not suggesting for flukes, but as I told you, high chances for option 4 or option 5. And for leaving also a question, there is a penalty of 0.1. You may take a chance, but the choice is completely yours. Okay, again, a very interesting problem. It appeared way back in XAT paper. So uh, over here again, people are afraid of if you look the number A741. So one written what? 741 times. So it's a very big number right now. Same with A534, A123, and A77 also. So students are afraid once they see such a big number. But I'll tell you a very logical solution and of course mathematical also. But the options were pretty easy, so people were able to answer this if they would have tried this question. So how do you get a prime number? It should have exactly what? Two factors. That is one and the number itself. Correct? So if you get apart from these two factors, if there are more factors, in that case the number will not be prime. So if you look over here, the options were pretty easy and people were able to figure out A741, which means if you write 741 times, so if you do the sum of the digits, right? So that would come out to be what? 111. If I add 741 times, it will be 741. So can you understand the Disraeli rule of three, which you must have used in your uh, problems also? So this number, if I look, is divisible by 3, right? So you can further look forward to add some of the digits and figure out that. So this becomes what? 12. And again, if I do it, this becomes what? 3. So you can say that the number would be divisible by 3 for sure. So this definitely is not prime, that you can figure out. So 1 is definitely correct. Can you rule out option C over here? So always have a look of ruling out the options also. Option E can also be ruled out, correct? Now same when you go for A534. So when you look at 534 also, this is divisible by 3. You can do it with some of the digits again if you do it over here. So this also is correct. So which means option A will also not be the answer you can look forward to mark, because 1 and 2 are correct. So option B can be the answer, or it could be D also. So when you go to A 1, 2, 3, so again 1, 2, 3, if you look the sum over here is divisible by 3 again. So which means this A123 is also not a prime number. So I know that now 1 is correct, 2 is correct, 3 is also correct. So option B, I cannot look forward to marks. So the answer is D for Delhi. So people would have struggled figuring out fourth is prime or not. I'll tell you mathematical way also, and just listen to me carefully what I'm talking about. Because see, this number 77 is not a multiple of 3, so they cannot check with the 3 itself and try to figure out the answer. So we should look at mathematical way also, but just understand and what I'm trying to say. At least if you just think logically out here, so I'm writing over here logical way, and what could be that logical way. So it may sound something surprising or maybe something interesting to the student who would be listening to this for the first time. See, they've given such big numbers, right? A 741, A 534, A 123, A 77. Now, to check out uh, whether it is prime or not, right? Just understand one thing. If they give you a prime number, actually, such a big number is a prime number, and they give it in the exam hall, how would you check it, right? So, do you have any method which would be faster and probably in that duration, whatever time you have for the paper, you can figure out it is prime? So, it would be really challenging if they give you a prime number, and from the student perspective, if you look, it would be not possible for you in that time spent to figure out such a big number is prime. So, logically, the numbers what they've given over in the option should not be prime. So there's a very logical stuff. Maybe hearing for the first time you would find difficult to digest, but I'm doing actually correct. So I could have done this problem in less time also, because I would have just used logic that such big numbers they cannot give as prime numbers in the example, because I don't have an approach where I can figure out uh, easily that it is a prime number. So ideally, logically, if I go, all four should have been correct, and this is what we got the answer also. But people must have not reached to this logic because they uh, looked at the options and were able to figure out the first three are definitely correct. So they were able to mark. So one is logical approach. Another, if I look A77, right? So you're writing what? 11177 times correct. I'll just show you that apart from 1 and the number itself, there are more factors to it. So this statement is also correct. So 77 you can write as what? 7 into 11, right? So what I'm just trying to say is, if you take a number 1 written 7 times, okay? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So just understand the first 7, if I look over here, would be divisible, right? So we just make the compartments of 7, right? Now the first 7 would be divisible. Then, of course, the next 7 you have, and so on. So what I'm just trying to say is that one of the factor of this number would surely be 1 written 7 times. You can also find out another one written 11 times also. So the moment you get one more factor apart from 1 and the number itself, you know that it is not a prime number. So I just shown you the mathematical way out also, that you can figure out that this is not prime. But please focus on logical approach also, because that would have taken hardly any time to figure out the answer is option D. So keep following us on the channel, and make sure that you join the CAT2IM information group so that you get the XAT PDFs. You get the free material also. So stay connected with us by joining the information group. And let's come to the last question of the part 4 out here. So as I told you in the middle of the video that I'll pick up one more problem where we can look at options. So people don't look at options, na? So they always try to do with the mathematical approach. So such a question should be done in this art paper, and should be again focused on the option, right? So we have to prepare in this problem 24 laddus, right? So the plan is that each of them makes the same number of laddus, okay? How many members actually make the laddus? Okay, so initially, let's say you have X members, okay, and every member is making, let's say, Y laddu. So X into Y product is what? 2400. That's what they have given, right? Now, however, on laddu making day, what happened? 10 members gayab ho gaye bhai. So this becomes X minus 10, right? And remaining has to do the extra stuff. So they have made what? Y plus 12. So yes, you can make the mathematical equation and try to get the value out here, but I would look at options over here. So how many members actually make the laddu? So they're not asking X, right? So they're asking what? X minus 10. Remember that. So let's look at the two options out here. One is B and E. So there are a difference of 10, right? And of course, one more pair you have A and D, that is also a difference of 10. So I'm just trying to say that highly likely the chance is either it could be option A, right? Or it could be option E. So I'm not suggesting you to go for flukes, right? I'm just giving a logical way out that how the examiner designed the options. So highly likely chances from option A or option E. So as we are going to use options, so rather than picking the other options, we should focus first on option A and option E, right? So let's do that. So let's say if I pick up this as 90, okay? So what do I get? X as what? 100, correct? So yes, I do get this as 100. This would be what? 24. So just remember that you have to check out the other part. It comes out to be correct or not. So x minus 10 is what? 90. And what is y we had? 36. So is this coming out to be the product as 2400? No. So the assumption we picked up option A is actually wrong. Now next I'll try with option E. So let's say x minus 10 is what? 40. So what we get, x is 50. So if this is 50, we have to calculate y over here. So that comes out to be what? 48. I hope I've done it correctly out here. Mhm. Yeah. So let's just check out whether it is satisfying or not. So this was what? 40, correct? And what we have is 48 plus 12, that is 60. So yes, 40 into 60 is giving me 2400. So the assumption is correct. So look, I said highly likely chances from option A or option E. I'm just saying one thing, that there is a negative for unattempted also, point one. How that works, check out the video we have uploaded on the channel itself. XAT negative marking demystified. You should know it. And uh, again, the choice is completely yours. If you feel that the answer is from option A or option E, two choices are left out. Uh, and you get stuck not being able to solve, it's completely your choice. You may pick up the answer from that two choices left out, because if you leave the question also, there is a penalty. But again, whether you want to do this stuff in the content DI, that's completely your choice. Of course, in the VRC as well as in the decision making, a lot of subjectivity is there. So over there, I always recommend to each and every student, if you get stuck with two or three options and you're sure that the answer is from that two options or three options which are left on, you should take the chance, because leaving also there is a penalty. And what I personally feel is in the VRC and decision making, there is a lot of subjectivity. So uh, you may not be able to boil down to uh, one answer every time. You have to go for the chance. But in the quant DI, that's not the case. You can always boil down to one answer in all the questions. So that's why I'm saying it's completely your choice whether you want to take the risk by marking the answer from two choices left out in the quant and the DI section. So keep following us on the channel Cat2 I'm by Manoj Mahajan. If you love the XAT series, please do watch each and every video which I'm going to upload in this series. Like also, comment and share to the XAT aspirants. Join our Cat2 I'm information group, and make sure that you should spread the word. People who are targeting CAT 26 and OMITs can look forward to join CAT 2 AM and be the next achiever. Thank you so much.